Hail to all of you. It's just your friendly neighborhood iDot with some more Bioware news. Good Lord, can we get over this already?
Whoa!
So the news has been circulating that there's possibly people who aren't getting review codes for Dragon Age the Veilguard, which is just releasing in 3 days from now, because they might actually, give an honest review, whether they're a fan of the old franchise or not. Because they're giving honest reviews, it seems like they're trying to sequester that. Astroturfing is a word that has been bandied about. There's also something else that allegedly, and this is something I kind of want to pick apart a little bit, allegedly sending DMCAs to people criticizing Dragon Age the Veilguard. Let's go through the story because I don't quite believe it. Dragon Age the Veilguard is just 3 days away. Okay, blah, blah, blah. While the game is currently the most pre-ordered on the PS Store in the UK and USA, that's like saying Acolyte was the most watched Star Wars show on Disney Plus when there was only one Star Wars show on Disney Plus. Don't get it twisted. A recent report suggests that developers are avoiding giving critical creators the review codes of the game. We went over this yesterday. It has now been reported that they're sending DMCAs to folks who criticize and videos criticizing. Where's my DMCA? Give it to me now. Why it matters. This isn't a great sign for the title's release. Nothing has been a great sign for this release. Bioware doesn't seem confident about the launch. I think, when you get your foot stuck and then someone helps you pry it out and you're just like, well, I have to go get in order to get out of this mud, I had to take my foot and leave the boot behind. And then you're like, no, but I need that boot. So this guy, Pirate Nation, or maybe he's foreign, Pirate Nation, posted this on Twitter. He deleted all his previous posts about everything that he was saying about Veilguard because he was scared to death about the DMCAs. What are they going to do to you, man? Are they going to send hordes of non-binaries towards you? Are they going to cause a blight upon your house? This dude's a pussy. Fans have also criticized this idea in the comments, rightfully so, stating that Bioware is just afraid of letting fans know about their Superwork title before its launch and doing everything in our hand to control the reviews, except now we have the reviews and people are saying the exact same stuff that we've been reporting on for a long time now, over 2 months. They were never going to keep it hidden. The only thing that they could possibly might try to do is keep it hidden from normie gamers. Anyone who's buying the fourth installment in a franchise knows what the other games were like and will be paying attention to this. It's not like it's just some new up and coming game coming out of nowhere. No, and they're also proud of it. And they knew they would get roasted, and they knew that they would cry foul, cry racism, and all kinds of other bull crap because it was never about the game. It was about ideology. They knew they weren't going to keep it down. They were going to be loud, proud, here and queer about it. Here's one thing we believe that Bioware doesn't have to do anything like that, as the developers have released some of the best games in the past and should be confident in what they've developed in the last few years. Except they haven't done anything good for freaking 10 years. A lot of people disagree with my take on Dragon Age Inquisition, which was 10 years ago. It's like 50-50. It's a mix. Yes, it's still one game of the year. Yes, I still love that game, but we kind of saw like the art direction go in different ways. They started pushing a little bit more into it, which I didn't have a problem with at the time. But then I guess that's where that term slippery slope comes in. But now it's just full fledged. It came out of its gay cocoon and it's spreading its wings. And it's about to get shot down. But wait, there's more. So BioWare, in their last ditch effort, because there has been talks about the Veilguard being like the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin. They're going to go bankrupt. Everything's going to be sold off, and it will just ultimately shut down the entire studio. At this point, you might as well. They're already doing damage control before the game's even released, so they know they effed up. And before the game is even out, they're already doing interviews with the director of Mass Effect 5. I wouldn't even call it Mass Effect 5. Mass Effect 4 Andromeda, that doesn't count. Can we just erase it from history? By the way, that last article, that was one of those great games that they should be proud of that was released since the last Dragon Age. Good land. Will never look like Dragon Age. And this is something actually, because they want to keep it as photorealistic as possible and focus more on the sci-fi elements rather than the fantasy World of Warcraft looking stuff that the Veilguard seems to be basically trying to go towards. It looks like Fortnite to me. Way cartoonish. Maybe they're trying to like bring anime in, but the creators don't know what the hell they're actually doing. Upcoming Mass Effect games. Mass Effect games, plural. Surely you jest. Will not be experimenting with a less realistic style the way the Veilguard does, according to Michael Gamble. Veilguard takes the Dragon Age series in a new art direction because anytime you do a sequel, you know what you want to do? You want to take everything that people love and give it a twist. You need to have it in a new art direction. You need to have new lexicon of words. They say GD. There is the maker and Andraste in the Dragon Age universe. They never call him God. It's just the maker. So to have a cuss word that is GD completely breaks lore. Opting for a more rounded, less realistic style. Oh, goodness. I'm about to get angry again. The change has sparked some controversy and proper several fans to wonder if the same was in store for Mass Effect, and he is basically outright stating, nah, we ain't doing that. We're still going to use motion capture, and we're still going to make it look as real as possible, not fictionalized. So now that it's out, Bioware is ready to move on to other projects. Of course, they're ready to move on to other projects because this one is set to fail. They've done everything in their power to completely suck and drain all the hype from it. Yet they have to stand behind it because DEI, because my pronouns, because non-binary, because all this other crap. They have to fit an agenda. Of course, they're ready to move on. They already know it's going to fail. They're basically only going to get their pre-sales, and anything after that is going to frickin' tank like Concord. The only people who are going to be playing it are basically just people who want the memes. As Gamble points out, the two teams have different people working on them. The gaming giant as a whole will likely now shift its. Yeah, this is basically exactly what I'm saying. This is the last franchise because they know they can't go back to Knights of the Old Republic. They know they can't do that. They don't have rights or anything with Lucasfilm anymore. They just ruined Dragon Age. Basically, the last thing they have left is Mass Effect. They've already ruined it with Andromeda. Will they be able to bring it back? I have me doubts. But as far as all this goes, a lot of it is speculation on whether or not they're doing this. I have not seen a confirmed account that they were putting DMCAs out towards people who negatively talked about it. However, if they were, give me one. I want one. I want a DMCA or a cease and desist. I would love one. I'd have it printed out, signed by, I don't know, some hooker on the side of the street, and then mounted on my wall. It'll be great. It would make sense. But as far as all this goes, a lot of it is conjecture. A lot of it's the hype / anti-hype of the game and everything they've done, coming up to its release. So a lot of it is not quantifiable, but it makes sense too. And also with the director of Mass Effect, they call it 5, but the newest supposed Mass Effect game, that director's like, nah, we didn't work on that, and they ain't working with us. So I kind of would believe him a little bit more right now, but that's only for art direction. We don't know where they're going with anything else. And it it still ushers in the question. We know that Bioware is a shell of its former self, a rotting, wispy shell of what it used to be. Can it come back? Not unless you fire all these homos. This is Malty from the GCA. We will see y'all later tonight on Reluctant Rebel, where I'll be doing different content. I'm just going to be on the panel and hang out with some great friends. Take care.